You should never eat fruit, and fruit juice should be illegal. If you've ever wondered how the hell you ended up with a beer belly without drinking beer or any other kind of hard drink, fruit was probably involved. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. When I was younger, I could not understand why so many women had these like bulging midsections. I thought, honestly, I thought that it was leftover pregnancy weight. Part of the reason I was so scared to have my first kid. Nope, that's not what it was. Let's talk about what's really happening and how you can fix it, because there is an answer. If you listen to the food guide, you have fruit with yogurt for breakfast, fruit for dessert after lunch, and at supper, you're going to have some vegetables, right? Because in order to be healthy, the food guide tells us that we're supposed to eat 50% of our daily calories from fruits and vegetables. Most people focus on fruit because it tastes better. And if you're anything like me, then your favorite vegetable was probably French fries. And so you're getting a lot of your veg is going to be starches. Here's the problem with that. Fruits are sweet. They're sweet because of the fructose in them.
Here is why sugars affect the body very differently. So if we start off with what's called a disaccharide, which means that there are two glucose molecules linked up with a bond. So then this is something we call maltose. That's the name of that sugar. And this has a glycemic index of 105. One of these, which goes out almost instantly, has a glycemic index of 100. But when they're linked up, that produces an even higher glycemic index, an even faster blood sugar response. So where does maltose come from? Is that something we eat a lot? Well, if you've heard of starch, if you've heard of complex carbohydrates, that is what that is. As soon as you eat that rice or that bread,
and potatoes,
you start chopping off little units of these huge chains, and this happens very quickly in terms of minutes. Next sugar is the one we really want to understand. So if we have this same first ring being glucose, but the second ring is fructose. Now this is table sugar, sucrose. And the problem here is that this fructose behaves very, very differently. The glucose in all of these will tend to raise blood sugar, but to different degrees. However, this fructose does not raise blood sugar very much, but it has the same effect on the liver, pretty much, really close, as what alcohol does, because fructose and alcohol can only be processed by the liver. So the tendency to overload the liver is very, very high. So if you drink a half a bottle of whiskey every day, then that alcohol is basically going to plug up the liver. But the same thing happens if you drink a bunch of sugar. If you eat sugar, if you drink sugar, if you eat high fructose corn syrup or drink high fructose corn syrup,
or eating half your daily calories from fruits and vegetables,
the same thing happens because this fructose is going to overload your liver. It's going to create a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and move your whole metabolic disease toward insulin resistance.
That belly bulge that none of us wants is being caused by the liver being overloaded and trying to clean up all the fructose we overeat, and trying to manage all the glucose in our bloodstream. Insulin resistance happens before obesity. Insulin resistance happens before non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Your body struggles with insulin resistance because you're eating most of your energy from plants. And because we're told that getting half of our calories from plants is healthy, we try to accomplish this by juicing, right? Because when you juice, you can get more vegetation in.
If we break these so they're floating around by themselves, now they're monosaccharides, and now we basically have what's called high fructose corn syrup. And if we have glucose by itself, the glycemic index is 100. If we have fructose by itself, it is about 25. And that's why sucrose or table sugar has a glycemic index of 65. It kind of sits in the middle. However, high fructose corn syrup, because these are floating around freely, we don't have to break that bond first, so this gets out even faster. Basically, from an insulin resistance and liver health standpoint, we need to understand that glucose is bad because it drives insulin, but fructose is worse. Now, fructose exists in table sugar and in high fructose corn syrup, and also in all fruits and in all juices, but it doesn't exist in starch. So if you eat rice or potato, it doesn't get in from there. And also in milk, it's a different sugar. So we don't get fructose from those. And that's why we need to be especially careful with things that come with table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and from fruit, and especially juices. So you understand that it doesn't matter if it's added sugar or not, it's still that same sugar. And juices have 50% glucose, 50% fructose. It's going to give or take plus minus 5% depending on the fruit, but these are basically all the sugars that are in there. You're getting glucose and fructose no matter what.
Juicing your vegetables makes them less healthy. All fruit juices are unhealthy. I know I'm saying the stuff that's going to get everybody to hate me, but it's the truth. Drinking juice to get those vitamins because you don't have time in the morning for your healthy breakfast is making you fat. Having a fruit smoothie for those micronutrients is damaging your liver. Not sure what side it's on, but it's damaging your liver. And adding fruit to your breakfast cereal to make it healthier is actually just adding garbage to garbage. If you want to be healthy, you need to know what to eat. Fructose is the sweetest tasting natural sugar. When you eat fruit, obviously they taste sweet. But when you eat vegetables and they taste sweet, especially when they aren't starches, very likely there's fructose in there too. It is so tempting for us to follow the recommendations of doctors and nutritionists because we believe that the medical system is there to protect us and keep us healthy. I used to believe that, and now I understand that there is money to be made from illness. Wellness warrior, you need to decide if you're going to believe your body, so what the information your body is giving you, how do you feel, what's your weight, how is your skin, how is your hair, the information your body is giving you, or if you're going to follow blindly what we are told to eat. Most adults have tried to lose weight with the standard diet recommendations and failed. I was one of them. I tried it over and over and over again. And what do you end up doing? You end up yo-yo dieting, which means now not only did I try a bunch of times, every time I failed, my weight ended higher. Most adults have tried adding a gym routine to their diet and routine to kind of get it to work, and still they failed. And what happens? You're still yo-yo dieting. Weight just keeps getting higher. Unfortunately, many adults have restricted their eating in an attempt to get control over their weight, being hungry all day, and then, of course, failing to reach their weight loss goals, failing to stick to this restrictive diet. And what ends up happening, their weight is still mounting. And you know what the worst part is? 65% of North American adults, so that's everybody over 18, 65% of us are taking at least one prescription medication. Yep. Our health is suffering for this. Knowing what food to eat is essential because food is 80% of what you're going to weigh, right? Your weight management depends on the food you put in your mouth. If we don't get the food right, we cannot lose weight. That is just how this functions. I'm sharing what I learned so that you, wellness warrior, can make better decisions about the vegetables that you decide to eat. Choose the lowest glycemic vegetables that you can. Fructose is not healthy. Period. No, no playing with this idea. Fructose is not healthy. I want you to prioritize health over taste. That is extremely important. The taste of garbage is never worth risking your health. It isn't. In order to remove fructose from your diet, you're going to need to get rid of your sweet tooth. So this is the video that I want you to watch next. Now, comment fructose is not healthy, just like this, if you'd like a chance to have a 30-minute call with me. This is for anyone, and we can talk keto, carnivore, or just chat. And all channel members are going to get 3 entry spots. Now click on the link. I'm going to meet you in the next video.